Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Collections. Today I'm back up once again by Fluff and Austin.
What's up, people?
Hello.
And today's matchup is, well, it's Fluff versus Austin. Fluff has brought back Syn Shenron. To quote Fluff, I need redemption from last week. And Austin's brought back Cell using the Golden Leader from the TCG Metals site. Check him out if you haven't already. And his take on the green-blue Cell. Guys, there's buttons, links in the description. Take it away.
I always hate sitting across from Cell. I don't know why this deck infuriates me so much. I think it's because of the inevitability that you're going to get Perfect Force Celled into Xenocell.
I don't even want to hear from the Syn Shenron player. I don't even want to hear that. The second I knew I was playing you, I was like, shit. Because I knew what you were playing, and I knew it was going to be a massive uphill battle.
That's the only thing that made me feel better, is that I was actually playing Syn Shenron. I was like, okay, so I'm playing like one of the best decks in the format versus a very slept-on deck in the format. This first turn for Shenron is very standard. You charge, you activate main, you find a couple balls, you play your balls, draw a bunch of cards, and then pass with one energy open. We very specifically pass with one energy open because we are going to counterplay anything coming into play with the new Gohan defeating the demon promo. That card is abusive as fuck in this deck.
It really is. I hate it.
Especially in the Syn deck, because it is one of the only decks that can establish a Z deck the way it does, and so quickly. And that's why I feel like Gohan needs to be changed to some degree. I don't think it needs to be entirely destroyed, but if you have two more energy, or if your opponent has two more energy, some form of balance where you cannot play it on turn one will help out a lot.
Yeah. And here I opened 2 balls, and then I found 2 balls off the leader. So I've already got 4 Z energy, so that Gohan is a 1-drop for me. So a 1-drop 20k, negs a 20k, double strike. Like, really strong.
Yeah, it's not the best feeling seeing that, and in this matchup, I honestly forgot about the Gohan entirely. Like, I didn't think for that card, and there's I just know how this deck plays, and I know general aggro is not fun to deal with the first few turns on with Cell, so at least with blue-green Cell, and here goes the part where I just start sending into rage.
Now, you do get your auto, which is good, because I think that's a searcher, isn't it?
Yes, but I want to be able to put it under my
Correct.
leader so I can. So that's the issue. So I do get the search, and I get a good search target.
It's good late game search target.
Like, because you want to put it in your energy. So like, usually what I'll do is if I don't see a turn 1, I generally see a turn 2. So I'll put it in my energy, then I just awaken.
Look, last week I got put under Nimbus 3 turns in a row. I'm fully expecting to get put under Dormant Potential 3 turns in a row. So, in my opinion, that could really come up.
Yeah, that's fair. And, but yeah, here with this deck, I just enjoyed the version I have of this blue-green Cell, and the reason I even brought it back was because I had the gold Cell leader. I'm like, I want to use this more. That was the whole reason why. And the deck's fun. I know the green-yellow is the air quote better one, but I just prefer playing blue-green because it's more fun. You have more options because I really do think the green-yellow one is just it autopilots. You don't have to do anything. You don't think. You just sit there and stare, and you're like, all right, I'm going to wait. So I just don't like doing that.
The green-yellow version for me is really frustrating. The green-blue version is interesting.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play blue-green ever since, when we were first building this deck, and I was not understanding really how to play the green-yellow that much because when I was first looking at it, I didn't understand the important synergy of the unison. And then I knew you can draw, then you can do the minus. My whole brain was like, the +1 is useless because you don't get anything on there. So why? It's like it didn't make sense to me at first when I was looking at the deck.
So I want to point out real quick. I did misplay this turn. Austin is only on 1 energy, so I'm not able to KO this Nova or an Ice Shenron and replay them. So there's no restriction on playing them, but there is a restriction on replaying them if they're KO'd by your skills. So you'll see that I end up KOing the Nova, playing it again, but I don't swing with it again because I realized what I did. So you'll see that coming up here shortly, just to kind of make it fair on Austin. I didn't swing with that card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there is a misplay here by me coming up. Not a misplay as in like, oh, it was illegal, or I just was dumb and didn't see the opportunity here. I'm already feeling the pressure because that's 2 double strike swings, a single strike swing already on turn 2, my turn 1. Like, it's just absurd. And he swings that in my hand here. I'm trying to think about it, but for some reason I have homicidal clones in my hand and I don't do the negate that way. Like, I don't just like any combos out. I'm like, oh crap, well, I got, I was not playing my best here. It's just frustrating that I'm not playing my best against this deck, and it's, Syn Shenron. Like,
that was a golden opportunity to use the Trunks Delusion Power to take you from 5 to 3. One of the really frustrating things about green decks is once they hit 5 life, it can be really tedious to try to get in on their life here. So I'm going to take every opportunity that I can get to try to solidify that damage. If you didn't want to take that double strike, you were going to have to combo from 10 to 35, which is huge because you're at 5. I don't know what super combos you're running at that time, but I'm hoping that they're not turned on at that point, and you would just have to combo raw cards out of your hand in order to get there.
Yeah, in this deck, I run 2 of the Paragus and 2 of the Android 18, the what makes you bottom deck a card.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do have some Arrival in the deck, but mostly I just have the Android 18s to have the early combo. Because one of the big issues is this deck can draw a lot, but if you don't constantly have androids or stuff's happening where your androids are getting like messed around with, you can't really do what you need to do. And so one of the things I added in this deck was I put in the Piccolo Unison from the first set of the Z Leader stuff. So that way you can have, because you're KOing a lot with the deck, you're gonna have Z energy. And the only Z battle card I plays are the see, now I do the homicidal clones way too late. But the Z battle cards I use are the Frieza and the Jiren in the deck. That's really it. There's really no other good green Z battle cards, honestly, that are generic use. But with this deck, with the Piccolo Unison, you need to draw more. You're KOing stuff a whole lot, so you're gonna have an opportunity to do the things you want. And I went ahead and charged because I knew I was gonna have to awaken, and I don't just have it in there anyways. Just go ahead and put one underneath, KO something, draw, and then I KO that one so he can't combo with it. And this is a weird spot to be in because you're at 2 life turn 2, because I did goof, and then I just put this one in there so I can draw more. And at this point, I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to figure out how can I get to a point where I can put enough pressure on him to, clear up some of this field where I can, because I have my stuff I can KO with this. And right here, I'm thinking about either playing the Unison to go so I can get a free Dormant, or I'm thinking about playing the 2-drop that I can't remember what it's called now. The 2-drop extra card that allows you to can't attack with cards 5 cost or more.
Big or more.
Yeah. So
it's really dangerous to do either, just because you're tapping out to do it, and I'm threatening lethal with at least 2 swings next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So if you dormant on the first swing, which is going to be a double strike swing, I combo up my hand, and then you have to try to combo to meet that. It's just a really tricky situation to be in. You going down to 2 life so quickly.
Yeah. It's the misplay of the homicidal clones that really messed me up because I would have had, I would have saved some life. I would have probably been at 4,
Yeah.
if I had played that smarter.
For sure. Yeah.
So that would have been made this not. That's the biggest reason I'm at this point was just because I had goofed so hard. And, it is what it is, at that point. I didn't expect the massive aggression with the double strike. That Gohan was just a massive surprise to me. Like, I knew the card existed, but I hadn't really played a whole lot since it's been prominent, so I just didn't think about it.
I took that crit there because I got the draw on the Nova when I shouldn't have. So I didn't even check that battle, and I just took the damage instead. So that was kind of it in my head, trying to find a way to rationalize the fairity of that, if that's a word, like the fairness of that.
But yeah, I'm
just
good.
I would say I also like that Piccolo as an option because of the interaction between Cell and that Unison. Because Cell, the activate main, you remove 2 cards, KO is a card. And if you have it is KO, right? It's not placed.
It is KO.
It's
That's
KO.
that's what I was saying.
Which
earlier.
procs Piccolo's 5k, making it 20k. And then you could do the -1. Like, if you didn't need the draw support, then you have a dual attack 20ks right there to kind of either clear board up or something. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that Piccolo is actually really strong. I think Scott Dashy recently topped with the green Piccolo deck, and he ran that Piccolo at a 4 of.
It's what I run as a 4. It's a really good one. It's just generic +1 is strong. And then, I think, with where we're at now with some of the bans, with the Trunks counterplay for the blue unisons being gone, we're limited on what we can use for counterplays with red unisons. I think green has the strongest. We have charismatic and you have dormant. So the support around a unison with green is still incredibly strong.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another reason why I wanted to have my unison next. I had a charismatic in hand, so I knew I could probably KO something coming in. It was a threat, like another 4-drop double strike, or the Gohan. So I knew I could get around things, and I felt strong about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you having to do that one attack there with your leader first, not having to what you did, was a perfect opportunity for me to use dormant to get rid of another attacker.
Yeah. And you did a nice job of mostly clearing out my board. And now I have to think, do I turn the Gohan sideways and try to combo out? I think at this point, you've drawn more cards than I have, and your hand size is just larger. So I have to kind of think to myself, am I able to swing with this triple strike Omega, combo out, and see where you can get to, or what? Because I think I have one super combo. I just picked up an after image technique off that, so that's not further comboing for me. So I think I decided to take the gamble and going ahead and combo all out of here.
Yeah. This was a heavy combo, so if I remember. And I was adding math in my head. I'm like, all right, I can get to this amount. And I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. Because I was feeling a little optimistic here. But then when you dropped those thunders, it's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Those thunders are really nice because they're a free 5k on a Shadow Dragon.
Yeah.
As long as you're tapped out, you can activate them for free.
This is why I was so optimistic, because I had, I have 2 of my parry guesses. I'm like, you know what, I can go somewhere. I can do something, but then we just ended there because I can't get any higher. Because I was like, maybe I can get my other super combo, but I didn't have enough after all that. That was the only factor I could do to see if I can get more.
Yep.
And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Keep in mind his buttons, links, and descriptions. Check them out. Bye.